Today, we are diving into something that is a total game changer for South Africa's communal and small-scale cattle farmers. We're talking about a way to build a much stronger, more profitable herd, but without having to find a massive budget to get it done. Let's jump right in.
I mean, this is really the big question, isn't it? How do you get world-class genetics into your herd when you know a premium bull is just completely out of reach financially? Well, as it turns out, there's a really smart answer.
So here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the core problem farmers are up against. Then, we'll introduce the solution and get into all the benefits. After that, we'll get real about the challenges, look at an amazing success story that proves it can be done, and then wrap up with a practical guide to get you started.
Okay, let's set the scene. If you're a farmer in a place like Limpopo, KZN, or the Eastern Cape, you know that improving the quality of your herd is absolutely critical for your livelihood. But it comes with some pretty huge obstacles.
You know, the interesting thing is how these challenges just pile on top of each other. Communal grazing, that makes managing a single bull really tricky. Budgets are always tight, and a top-quality bull can set you back tens of thousands of rand. Then you add the constant risk of theft or injury, which would be a devastating financial blow, and suddenly improving your herd feels like an incredibly slow, uphill battle.
So, what's the way around all this? Well, the answer is artificial insemination, or AI. And believe me, it completely rewrites the rulebook for herd genetics.
At its core, AI is pretty straightforward. You're taking semen from the absolute best bulls in the country, or hey, even the world, and you're using it to inseminate your own cows. Simple as that. No bull on your farm, no year-round feeding costs, and none of the risk.
And this right here, this is the incredible part. Just think about it for a second. The genetic potential of an elite champion bull, available to any farmer anywhere in the country right from a little nitrogen flask. It basically democratizes genetics for everyone.
So if you can get your hands on any genetics, which one should you pick? Well, for the very specific challenges that communal farmers face in Southern Africa, one breed really stands out, the Boran. Let's get into why.
The thing about the Boran is that it's perfectly adapted for our conditions because it was basically forged in the tough, dry climates of East Africa. That background gives them this incredible natural resistance to heat, drought, and a lot of local diseases. They can turn poor quality grazing into growth like you wouldn't believe, and their strong mothering instincts mean more calves actually survive. You see, these aren't just bullet points. They are serious economic advantages.
Okay, let's talk real numbers. By using superior Boran genetics through AI, you could increase the weight of your weaner calves by 10 to 20%. Just let that sink in. Heavier calves mean a bigger paycheck at the market. That's a direct impact on your bottom line.
Now, what about savings? This is huge. By getting rid of the costs of feeding, vet care, and securing a bull all year long, you can slash your operational budget by a massive 50 to 70%. That's money that can go right back into growing your farm. And the benefits just keep coming. Calves from AI often have better conformation. They just look better, which makes them way more attractive to buyers. This quality alone can mean you get up to 15% more at a sale. It all adds up.
So after seeing those numbers, let's just put it all side by side. With a bull, you're stuck with one set of genetics, high costs, and a ton of risk. With AI, you suddenly have access to elite genetics from all over for as little as 50 rand a dose. The risk of disease and theft, it just plummets. It's a really, really clear win.
Okay, but let's be realistic. AI isn't some magic wand you can just wave. It takes skill, it takes some investment, and it definitely takes planning. To really know if it's the right move for you, we have to be honest about the hurdles. First off, you've got to get trained, and a course can cost a few thousand rand. And your initial success rate, it won't be 100%. You should expect something like 50 to 70%. The equipment itself can be over 20,000 rand right out of the gate. And then you have the day-to-day challenges, spotting exactly when a cow is ready in a big herd, and making sure their nutrition is spot on. These are real hurdles, and they need real solutions.
So, how in the world do you overcome all those hurdles? Well, the best way to learn is from someone who has actually walked the path. So let's take a look at the incredible story of Bosimene Maketla, a communal farmer from the Northwest Province.
This one quote just says it all, doesn't it? Bosimene figured out that investing that money in AI skills and equipment was a much smarter, more powerful long-term strategy than just buying another bull. So how did he make it work? Here are his keys to success. And the most important one was collaboration. He didn't go it alone. He teamed up with his neighbors to split the costs, which immediately cut his expenses by 40%. He also invested in his own education, and he used a very smart strategy.
hormone synchronization. Basically, you use hormones to get all the cows ready to conceive at the same time, which solves that massive challenge of detecting heat in a communal herd. Teamwork and smart science made it happen.
Baseman's story is all the proof we need that this can be done. So let's build on that and give you a practical guide for getting started with AI yourself.
It really breaks down into 5 pretty manageable steps. First, get yourself trained. Second, select the right genetics for your environment. Super important. Third, use a synchronization protocol to get your cows ready together. Fourth, do the insemination. And finally, check your success. After a little practice, this all just becomes part of the routine.
Now, for step 2, choosing great genetics, you need reliable sources. Studs like Boran are absolute pioneers, offering these hardy, climate-proof genetics that are just perfect for improving survivability. And then you have Ciskei's Boran. They're known for semen that gives you incredible hybrid vigor, creating calves that thrive with minimal inputs. These are fantastic places to start sourcing your genetics.
Okay, let's talk about the cost. A full starter kit, yeah, it can run you between 20,000 and 30,000 Rand. But wait, remember Basimani's story? By working with other farmers to share the most expensive item, that nitrogen flask, and by looking into government subsidies, you can bring these startup costs way, way down.
And this right here, this really drives home the potential. This is not just some theory. These are real case studies in South Africa showing small-scale farmers hitting conception rates between 48 and 66%. With the right approach, success is absolutely within reach.
So what's the big takeaway here? At the end of the day, artificial insemination is so much more than just a breeding technique. It's a tool that lets you take control of your herd's genetic destiny, build a more resilient, more profitable operation, and create a real, lasting legacy. The only question left is, are you ready to take that step?